Hi, I'm Wan Qi. Welcome to Taiwan is my home. Tourists in Taiwan often make the remark that it is the hospitality here that makes Taiwan so beautiful. They also say the food and landscape are very versatile. When we talk about Taiwanese food, we have to talk about Tainan. The old capital insists on its traditional way of cooking. Today's first story is about a man who opened an Israeli restaurant in Tainan. He was in the clothing business, came to Taiwan for his love, and became a new immigrant, raising his offspring in Taiwan. Why Tainan? First of all, it's his wife's hometown. Besides, this boatman says, if people in Tainan like his food, he would have no problem going anywhere else. Now let's take a look at his culinary adventure in Tainan. It's very delicious. Thanks. Where are you from? From Italy. Really? How do you do? My name is Nissim from Israel. The exotic style in the shop makes you forget where you are. Why Tainan? I can take you around if you have time. I can show you Tainan. You can find lots of good food here. I knew when I opened up a shop in Tainan, and if people here like it, all Taiwan will like it. If Tainan people don't accept my food, I would just go home. Sounds like a real expert with lots of guts. To try to make a name in the food paradise, Nissim is selling a traditional dish from his home country. What I'm making now is hummus. This is a traditional food in Mediterranean countries. Nissim says in his country, hummus is as common as rice with stewed pork in Taiwan. Soaked in water for over a day, the peas have grown double in size. You have to constantly change the water. There is no shortcut in making such traditional food. You cannot find shortcuts. Either you do it a traditional way or you don't do it. The procedure is complicated. You need to simmer the peas for 2 hours. You have to scrape off the foam every 5 to 10 minutes. Without the foam, peas won't give you gas. It's rich in protein and fiber and minerals. Nissim loves to make it for his 3 children. You know, it's funny how my kids eat. It's like how they speak. They can start a sentence in Hebrew, continue in Chinese, and finish in English. They say, Abba, ni kan bus. Abba is father in Hebrew, ni kan is Chinese, bus is English. Kids are like a sponge, very flexible. They will speak Hebrew to father, English to customers, and Chinese to their mother, and Taiwanese to grandparents. They speak 4 languages. Isabel, my daughter, she always tells her little sister, Father doesn't understand Chinese. We can say anything we want. Then I say, Isabel, I can hear what you say. And she says, yeah, but you don't really understand. Nissim had a clothing business and ended up in Tainan because of a romantic accident that took place in Thailand. The day we met each other, it was his birthday. We had no idea. It was pure coincidence. And that's how we met. And then I went to Israel and stayed for half a year. Nissim's family was against the relationship because a Jew can only marry another Jew. But Nissim changed his family's beliefs. I often say that my wife is more Jewish than I. Why? Because there are 3 things in life we both care about. The first one, and also the most important one, is family. You can see that Jewish families are like Taiwanese families. The second thing is education. We give a lot of attention to education of our next generation. And the last one is funny to say, but we both love money. He said it makes a lot of sense because to support a good family and good education, you need a good financial base. He made quite some money from his clothing business in China, but he wasn't happy and didn't feel secure. Then his wife got pregnant and she wished to give birth in her hometown. So he started to search for something to launch a new career. He thought about the bread from his mother. In the Jewish culture, mothers have to bake bread. Friday is the day for baking bread and cake. If she doesn't do it, her children will run over to the grandmother, and she knows it. In order to keep the children home, she has to make good bread. All Jewish families get together on Fridays to give God their gratitude. On Friday, every mother makes bread. Nissim's mother has 5 sons, and he's the oldest, and the one to help. He learned how to make bread, and he learned her attitude toward bread. Every time my mother makes bread, she puts in the yeast and waits for the dough to grow. She covers the dough and then she prays to God to help the dough to grow. She believes if you put in your pure energy in the bread, it will taste better. To Nissim, making bread is sacred. Besides his love and energy, he also gives the bread the best temperature and humidity. So he spent lots of money on a fermentation bank, and every step is done by hand. We know that bagel is a traditional Jewish bread. Pita filled with hummus is something special. In Hebrew, nouns have genders, masculine and feminine. All breads are basically masculine except for pita. Pita needs care and love like a woman. When you see Xiaogu make pita bread, he gives a lot of touch. It's all done by hand. We can do this by machine, but the result won't be the same. The most difficult part is that the baking time is short, but the temperature is high. The timing has to be right for the pita to grow. Nissim went through a lot of trouble just to get it right. I asked my cousin in Jerusalem to videotape the whole process because I didn't know how to explain in words to Xiaogu how to do it. We had this conversation going back and forth between our kitchen and the kitchen in Jerusalem for almost 3 months, until we finalized this product, and it's the pita as you see it. Xiaogu is born in 1978. Nissim says Xiaogu saved his life. When Nissim opened a shop, he invited a couple from Israel to be partners. A year later, the wife was pregnant. The couple decided to go back to Israel. Nissim was all by himself. God sent Xiaogu to me. He is a gift, really. It takes 6 to 9 months to teach someone. But he learned everything in less than 3 months. They carry many kinds of breads, cinnamon rolls, different kinds of cakes and cookies, as well as babka, which every girl in Israel has to learn to make in order to find a husband. Xiaogu can do it better than Nissim. When Xiaogu is making bagel, Nissim can make the sauce for pita. They work well as a team. Now Nissim likes everything Xiaogu does. It's very, very soft inside with a crunchy shell outside. No one in Taiwan can make it like this. No one, really. No one. It's tasty. Atzman was sweeping the floor, came over for the good smell. He's now Nissim's partner. People say, don't do business with your good friend. Nonsense. Do business only with your friend. Do business only with your family. Family don't care about certain things. Often you see Atzman with a broom or a cloth, cleaning and wiping. He's a legend himself, owner of a bar in Israel, but came to Taichung to run a cram school. Now he's in restaurant business with Nissim. He's in charge of the dining area. You can tell his passion by looking at the decoration of the tables. What he loves most is to feed people. The hummus has a silky texture, dashed with olive oil, green peppers, and with beef meatballs, you get an exotic taste. When we think of Israel, we think of war, but it's not true. They actually enjoy a leisurely lifestyle. The people are like us, quite passionate. The people here are honest. They don't lie. Especially in Tainan, they don't lie. There are people who smile at you but talk bad behind your back. Here, people are like knife. But it's good. It feels like home. Nissim loves Tainan and Taiwan. There's one thing he has to say. I love Taiwan, really. When someone tells me he's going to work in Australia, I'm upset. I would say, why? You're a fine young man, 22 years old. Stay here. Why are you going to Australia? If you go get a doctor degree. If you want to work on a farm, work on a farm here. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I want to shout to the young generation, stay here. It's a beautiful place. A shop owner with his own ideas that he loves to share. With food from his hometown and love for the people, Nissim is filled with energy for life. Look, so many people here, different ages, different colors, old ones, young ones, Taiwanese, foreigners. Everyone comes here and feels at home here. I can't ask for more, really. Welcome back to Taiwan is my home. We all know Vietnamese cuisine. It's healthy and natural. How about Chow Chow cuisine? Some Chow Chow restaurants pride themselves in extravagant dishes like abalones and shark fins. If we put these two different styles of food together, what's going to happen? In the following story, the husband is from Hong Kong, a master of Chow Chow cuisine in a 5-star hotel. The wife is from Vietnam, also good at cooking. Both of them came to Taiwan for work. They met and got married here. This is a story about a couple who tried to fit in, to get along with each other, and help each other. Before the diner opens in the morning, she offers a few cups of tea and a cup of coffee to the god of earth and god of wealth. Xie Bi, the owner, has been in Taiwan for over 10 years, and she brought with her the food from her hometown. First, she makes preparations for Vietnamese seafood noodles. Her husband He Bing helps with shrimps. He said she's the boss in the kitchen. He only comes to help after work and holidays. He Bing has his own stage. About 20 years ago, he came to Taiwan to work at a 5-star hotel as a Chow Chow cuisine chef all the way until today. He makes use of the shrimp shells. He puts them into the oven, bakes them until they're slightly burned. Then you take them out of the oven. No, I didn't stir-fry them in a pan, and then put them in the broth. Chow Chow cuisine specializes in seafood dishes. He Bing helps his wife by injecting the Chow Chow elements into her seafood noodles. You have to fry the shrimp shells, then make broth together with pork bones and chicken bones. It's really a lot of work because it is very complicated. Vietnamese cuisine is complicated. But isn't Chow Chow cuisine more work? It's also a lot of work. They're about the same. He Bing takes good care of his wife by taking over the spatula. Xie Bi wasn't very happy with Ho's help at first. In Vietnam, there's only one shrimp in the seafood noodle soup. Here, I am the master chef, and over there, he's the master chef. Well, actually, what I want to say is, I want to make something delicious for my customers. I like spicy food, and he likes it light. That's good for the Taiwanese. Sometimes his opinions are okay. Xie Bi makes compliments to her husband, who is the real master chef at the hotel. He helped her transform the Vietnamese dish to be more localized. In Vietnam, they use instant noodles for this dish. But instant noodles are common in Taiwan. You only need to put in hot water, and then you can eat the soup. When you think about it, in Taiwan, you can also use Taiwanese rice noodles to make the soup. He Bing came to Taiwan 28 years ago. When he came, he packed his suitcase with devotion to Chow Chow cuisine. Oat sauce is so much better than fresh sauce. So as I arrived, I brought about 20 kilos of oat sauce with me. The sauce in Chow Chow cuisine is made from Chinese herbs, chives, ginger, garlic. Whole sauce has been made for over 50 years. With this sauce, He Bing has made himself a name. However, he doesn't share the sauce with his wife. Still, he wants his wife to have a stage for herself to demonstrate her cooking talent. In our diner, we have different type of food. Here, we want to show the Vietnamese characteristics. Over in the hotel, we have Cantonese and Chow Chow cuisine. You need to separate them. You can't mix them together because if you do, it wouldn't make a difference for customers to eat here or there. I hope my wife's diner focuses on food from her hometown. You can add something from Cantonese food, but you don't want to change the original category. The couple, coming from Hong Kong and Vietnam, 24 years apart in age, made the bond after they had each ended the previous marriage. Back then, she was working part-time at a restaurant. One day I went there to eat. She made pretty good pasta. At the beginning, I didn't know who she was. I only thought she cooked quite well. So I asked someone to introduce me to her, and that's how we got to know each other. A Vietnamese woman, her pasta got the attention of a master chef of a 5-star hotel that he wanted to make her acquaintance, and he highly praised her cooking. The things she cooked, I had the feeling that she could cook as well as other chefs. She reached the level of a good restaurant. So I felt that was his feeling. I didn't feel the same way. She's more talented than average. I believe that she's got good talent. They got married and their child was in high school. Ho Bing Moo began to encourage his wife to go back to Vietnam and start a restaurant. At the beginning, we weren't serious about it. He said, start a new business so that we can be better off. But once we started it, we became very engaged. We never thought it could be successful. In the beginning, we didn't get much business. There weren't many customers. After about a year, we had some customers. In Vietnam, she was selling steaks that Ho Bing Moo taught her and pasta that she learned in Taiwan. When business stabilized, Ho Bing Moo encouraged her to bring Vietnamese food to Taiwan. You make a batter with coconut milk, green beans, ground meat, green onions, and shredded carrots and form half a meatball. This is called Vietnamese pancake. Xie Bi'e asks her husband for opinions for every new dish. For the pancake, Ho Bing Moo put a shrimp on top to make it a delicacy. In her hometown, these foods are snacks from street vendors. Yeah, there are many vendor foods. However, if we package it and make it finer, we elevate the street food to restaurant delicacies. We present the food in a different way, then it is different. Coming from a hotel, Ho Bing Moo wanted to make his wife's Vietnamese snack to a finer food, whether in its ingredients or in its presentation. Unlike how people think about Vietnamese snacks, Xie Bi'e was quite fond of her husband's idea. But whenever they work in the same kitchen, Xie, whose cooking was highly praised by her husband, has a temper that's no less than his. Sometimes she doesn't like what I'm cooking. She would say, stop making it, please. She won't let you cook? You cook differently in a different place. So what do you do then? I'd say, okay, you do it then. Because he can cook better than me, but he can cook at his restaurant, but our place is different. I'll just let her cook. She can cook it herself. Every place is different. So I get out of the kitchen and sit here. In this diner, she is the boss. Ho Bing Moo has his own philosophy in marriage and in cooking. She's the one in charge of the diner. The way she does things is very different from mine. Customers' needs are different. Maybe she thinks that customers don't like a certain way, so she insists what she thinks is right. I have no problem with it. I won't fight with her. They will just cool down and they will get back to work. She knows that she's eager. I would be very happy if you could do better than me, though I taught you how to do it. This way, I wouldn't have to worry about her, right? She runs the diner, and I don't have to worry if the food she cooks pleases the customers or not. If she doesn't get what I try to teach her and customers complain about her food, I will be more worried, right? I'm happy if she cooks better than me. Is this pretty? Hand me some pretty leaves. She's giving him orders again. These green lettuce leaves will be used as beef wrappers. Not too much. There's enough flavor. Don't put in too much. Mix ground beef with lemongrass, pineapple pieces and cucumber sticks and rice noodles wrapped in lettuce leaves. He taught me how to make changes. I told him about a dish and he would make change. Aren't you happy with his change? Yes, I am, but not all of them. It's up to him. I'm fine with it. I just tell him what I think. Shibia gave a smile, looking like a spoiled girl. Even when flavoring dishes, she also needs Hebingmu to nod to go on. He helps me in many ways. I will show you this way, you try it. If it doesn't work, he'll think of something else. She won't accept my idea until she tries it. He will also try what I make. She won't accept my idea if she thinks it's not good. Another challenge from Xie was Vietnamese rice roll. The wrapping is similar to that of Cantonese rice roll, only tastes softer. Xie Bi'e wanted to make the wrapping more chewy. After several trials, Hebingmu finally succeeded by adding water chestnut powder. I do the talking, but I don't have a solution. He's the one who finds its solution. I am useless here. I would say that has to be more chewy. He would make it more chewy for me. There's another thing that she wanted to tell her husband. I want to tell him that I was thinking that it wouldn't be bad to make his Hong Kong style and my Vietnamese together. But he said it would be too complicated. We should take it slowly. But I am impatient. I want to do more business. I want to put more dishes on the menu, but he told me to take it easy. Hebingmu wants to keep the diner Vietnamese, so he only taught her one Cantonese dish, the radish cake. Yeah, he's reluctant. Well, I'm just kidding. He deliberately made the radish cake not so good. I tried it and didn't like it, so I wouldn't want to sell it. It has to be good for me to sell. Hebingmu knows that she pursues perfection. He found a subtle way to keep the diner Vietnamese without hurting her feelings. I have been in Taiwan for more than 20 years, and she more than 10. We consider ourselves half Taiwanese. In Taiwan, we want to be decent Taiwanese, though we come from different countries. Here, we look at ourselves as Taiwanese. We want to mix the food from our countries together and dedicate it to Taiwan using local ingredients for our customers. With ingredients from Taiwan, Chao-Chiu cuisine as a base, to refine the Vietnamese food, to mix people and food together in the same pot. This cross-cultural couple also learned about tolerance and respect in their marriage. The interaction of this couple is interesting. When one is impatient, the other one moves back. They learn from each other and tolerate each other. There's something we can learn from them. Thank you for watching. See you next time.